Well, speaking of daughters, you talked about how your daughter was the only black person in her school
Right.
at one point.
Yeah.
Was this elementary school,
No,
junior high?
this is like high school.
High school.
Definitely.
Okay. So you send her to this all-white school, and something bad happens.
Well, I didn't know it was gonna be an all-white school. I just initially liked the house. I moved in the area. I kind of didn't put that in mind because I came from nothing, from Southside Jamaica. My mom's house is way smaller than what I got, you know. So I came from nothing. So I was just more excited about the house, but wasn't thinking about the dynamic and how it was. So yeah, my daughter was probably like the only black person in the school, and you know, I'm not saying that everybody in the school is bad people or everybody in the neighborhood is bad people, but you know, you're gonna have your bad apples out the bunch, you know?
Right.
Right.
And what happened next?
Oh, what happened next is she was actually on a hit list with teachers and everybody else.
What is a hit list exactly?
A hit list is when a kid writes a hit list.
Oh,
And
people
says
I
he
want
wants
to kill?
I want to kill this person, that person, you know.
Okay. And the
I
school
want to kill
actually
teachers,
found, the school found the list.
and it was different kind of people. He wanted to kill Indian people, black, you know. And the school found out, and you know, and the way the kid worked his magic to come back in school, I don't know how it was possible, but that's what happened.
So, being Tony Yayo, and the way that Tony Yayo reacts to people who threaten him or threaten 50 Cent or people around him,
Right.
I would imagine it'd be heightened with your own daughter.
Oh,
Right.
definitely. It came to a point, you know, where it's heightened, but I got to think logically. It's a little kid, a little nerd kid in his basement that's writing something, and he's harmless. You know what I mean? He can't crush a grape in a food fight. But those be the ones sometimes that come and really shoot up the school. But he been warned, and now, thank God that, you know, they on this stuff faster now. You know what I'm saying? But for me, when it comes down to I don't claim to be the toughest guy, but if it comes down to me or my family or like 50 of my friends or anybody close to me, it's hell or jail. You know? I want to go to heaven, but it'll be hell or jail.
Right.
Either way. When it come down, I never claim to be the toughest, you know, but people in my neighborhood respect me. I always have respect. But it's you fuck with my family or me, it's hell or jail. I don't care. Like when that happened in my mom's house, I was running around crazy in the hood. The same day, I had to get the call to tell me, yo, now go home, you ain't gonna find nobody now. You know, so it's hell or jail, man.
So, did your daughter stay at that school?
I mean, she graduated. This was like her junior year. She stayed.
So she stayed for a year and a half
Yeah,
or so.
the kid was out for a couple of months. He came back, and it's like, you know, I lived there. You might as well just tough it out. She toughed it out.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a lot of, you know, racial stuff going on that was swept under the rug.
Well, I'm sorry I had to go through that, man. I mean, that's
Yeah,
some
it's tough.
shit.
I mean-
that's some shit you expect in Mississippi. Or
I just think it
something.
was
You don't
just tough.
expect it in
No,
the
I
East
think
Coast.
it's tough because I didn't have to grow up like that. Like I said, there was a mixture. There was white kids in my school, but there was a lot of black. There was a lot of Indian. There was a lot of mixture. When you're in a picture being the only white person and black person in the school, but you know, coming from, you know, the hood, and you move somewhere and you find a nice house where it's probably, you know, less crime rate or whatever. You know, you're not putting it into mind that she's going to be in school or how can it affect her like that. And of course, she's a strong black young woman right now. She's only 19.
Okay.
She's, you know, very respectful.
Oh, so this just happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
She's
okay.
only 19.
This was what, like 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Damn.
And they let, you know, it was fucked up. They let the kid back to school. You know, that was the most fucked up part for me. But, you know, some people are privileged more than others sometimes. Or some people might have connections in the school. Or you know.
Well, I mean, it was a public school or private school?
No, it's a public school.
It's hard to kick kids out of public school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the way it's set up.
So when does the line stop? When you
I
have a
don't
hit
know.
list?
I mean, clearly the line wasn't crossed according
if
to.
your kid's name was on a hit list in school, how would you feel about it?
I'd lose my shit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I would lose my shit.
But-
I'd probably take.
but this
you know,
is
yeah,
when-
I wouldn't have kids in school like that.
But listen, and I understand, but there's a catch-22 to everything in life. You move out you get successful, you make some money, you move out the neighborhood so you don't get killed, right? Right? So rappers, what do they do? We gotta move out the hood because we gonna get killed. We stay in the hood. You can't have your cars out there. You can't live right in the hood or you're gonna get killed, right? That's what happens to every rapper, right? So you move out the hood, right? And then you move out the hood, you might be around a whole different environment now. It might be a lot more white people or more Italian or more any religion or race, right? But it's a whole different vibe. Now you got other stuff to worry about. You know, you might be in the supermarket and people looking at you like, what the fuck is he doing here? Or it's like, look like an alien, like what the fuck? But it's all good, you know, it's to each his own. I don't let shit like that bother me. But for her to be in an environment where, you know, she's the only black person in the school, yeah, that could fuck with you a little bit. You know what I mean?